Are you looking for fittings for Navy destroyers for PvP and faction warfare in Lowsec? Then this video is the right for you. Let's start with the Coecer Navy issue. The Coecer Navy issue has bonus to neutralizer and armor HP, making it very tanky. And the first fit we're gonna look at is a MWD fit with newts and pulse lasers. In the high slots we have 4 pulse lasers and 3 small neutralizers. I only fit 4 out of 6 turrets so that I can fit more newts. And with the bonus that it gets you newts, 10% per level, it actually is very strong against other ships that use either energy turrets or hybrid turrets as weapon. In the mid we have MWD and Scram. We use a Shadow Serpentis one because it is actually a little bit easier to fit and doesn't give as much cap penalty as a Tech 2 or Meta one. And in the lows you have damage control, multi-spectrum coating and 2 heat sinks to get more DPS. And rigs are triple bulkhead so that we get a lot of structure HP. The second fit we are gonna look at is a Coecer Navy that has 24k EHP. And how do we get that? Well, we have dual light pulse lasers because they require less power grid, and then we have a 400mm plate and triple armor pump rigs. So we get over 24k EHP and over 9k armor HP. The drawback of this fit is that it only has an AB and not an MWD, so you will be slower with it, and will also have a little bit less DPS because here we only fit 1 heat sink so that we get more tank compared to the other one. The next ship we look at is the Catalyst Navy issue. The Catalyst Navy issue is fast and does a lot of DPS because it uses neutron blasters. And the first fit we look at is a full DPS brawling Catalyst Navy issue. High slots are 6 neutron blaster, in the mediums we have MWD, Scram and Web, all matter because otherwise it won't fit because of CPU. And in the low slots we have dual magnetic stabilizers and a damage control, and rigs are all bulkhead. So we still get a decent tank with this fit. However, with this fit you actually need a CPU implant to make it fit, otherwise you won't have the CPU to fit all that stuff. You can also swap one of the magnetic field stabilizers with an armor plate to get a little bit more tank, but you sacrifice some DPS. The Catalyst has a bonus that lowers the mass penalty for armor plates, meaning that you won't lose a lot of speed if you fit a plate. And the rigs we keep with triple bulkheads because with hull tank we get more EHP than we would have when swapping those for armor pumps, and also the bulkhead rigs don't give speed penalties other than the armor pump rigs. And this fit is also very fun to use. It is 10 MNAB with railguns, and the idea with this fitting is to kite. You are a little bit slower than with the MWD, but as you are AB fit you cannot be scrammed at all. And instead of a scram we use a long point so that you can keep your target tackled even if you are further away. In low slots we have damage control, magnetic stabilizer and a small ancillary repair. And the rigs are triple bulkheads like before to get the maximum possible EHP without sacrificing too much speed on this ship. The next ship we are going to look at is the Cormorant Navy issue. And the Cormorant Navy issue gets actually a bonus to hybrid turret damage, shield boost amount, as well as range of hybrid turrets. And this fit is actually a community fitting. You can find it in the community fittings here. And high slots are neutron blasters, mediums you have AB, scram and dual ASB, and lows you have damage control and magnetic field stabilizers, and in the rigs with EM and thermal screen reinforcer and a burst arrator to get more DPS. However, the disadvantage of the AB fit is that you don't have a lot of speed, and you're also very limited with range. You only have 14 kilometers range with null, which isn't too bad, but if you run into something like a kiting slicer, then you might get issues because you won't be able to really catch him with just an AB. But the tank of this fitting is very powerful with the dual ASB fit. And before it you still get over 500 DPS cold, and if you use some drugs and implants and heat, then you get well over 600 DPS with this fitting. And the final ship we look at is the Thrasher Fleet Issue. The Thrasher Fleet Issue is the fastest of all those ships, and it gets a lot of DPS because it gets a bonus to rate of fire and damage of small projectile turrets. And the Thrasher is also the easiest to fit of all those 4 ships because projectile turrets don't use a lot of power grid and CPU, so you can fit more tank. And this fit that we are looking at here is an autocannon and brawling fit. The highest you have 200mm AC and a small newt. If you want, you can also swap this out for a rocket launcher for more DPS, but in some cases the newt can be useful, like if you attack something like a fast AB brawling frigate, then you can use the newt to turn the AB off at some point. In the mediums we have MWD, shield extender and scram. And low slots we have gyro steps and damage control, and rig slots we have transverse bulkheads. This is actually an interesting combi because we have shield tank mixed with hull tank. It is actually very fun to fly because when people fight you and your shields are gone, then they think, oh well, shields are gone, I'm soon going to win, and then they realize when you are in hull that they still have some EHP to chew through. So this makes this very fun to play, mixing shield and hull tank together. This is the last fit we are looking at. It's an Arty Thrasher Fleet Issue. This is also based on a community fitting that you can find here. And in the high slots you have 280mm artilleries, mediums you have similar like the rail catalyst, long point web, but this time an MWD and not a 10 MNAB. Low slots you have gyrostep, damage control and a meta gyrostep. Here you have to fit some meta models because otherwise it doesn't have enough CPU. And rigs are 2 bulkheads and 1 ancillary current router to get more power grid to make this all fit. And the idea with this fit is to kite. With EMP you get 28 kilometers fall off plus optimal range, so that means that if you're in range of your long point you can just keep short range ammunition loaded. But the disadvantage is that artilleries have very bad tracking, and if you get something like an AB dual web hook build then you might have issues tracking it. So I would not recommend using this fit against AB brawling frigates, but it is very strong against anything with an MWD or auto destroyers or cruisers and whatever. So I hope you like this overview over PvP fittings for Navy destroyers. If you want to support the channel, then consider using the code Gustav at EVE Online Store or Marquee Dragon. And in the description you find links to my Twitch and Discord, as well as to forum posts about bringing back the Proving Grounds. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.